If you guys have a Fox body, you got minor bolt-ons, you got a little supercharger, you're doing spirited driving, going to shows, banging the gears every once in a while, this kit's great to improve from your stock T5. But if you're going drag racing, drifting, don't even waste your time with a T5. Go buy a T56 Magnum and call it a day. There's only so much you can make better with the T5 without re-engineering the whole entire transmission. But if you can't afford the Magnum and you just want to get by for now, this is the kit you need. So I had somebody ask me the other day, what's the difference between your Pro Street T5 versus buying an off-the-shelf T5z online? So if you go online and you search T5z, whether it's on like LMR, CJ Pony Parts, Summit Racing, Modern Driveline, those are just a few that sell them, but they're not really specific in what comes in the transmission. Some of them I read that they have moly coated gears, they have carbon synchros for first and second. Some say 1 through 4, some say only first and second. And then of course they have the 295 gear set. But other than that, they're not really telling you what's in the T5z. To put it simply, you're getting a lot more upgrades in my Pro Street T5. Now, depending on where you buy your T5z, you'll probably end up spending more money and you're going to be missing out on some critical upgrades that remedy factory flaws with the T5. So you're getting more upgrades, you're spending less money, and you're getting it from a small business. If you guys have watched any other of my videos, you can see the entire process. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible and redefine the term rebuild, because I get a lot of transmissions that come in like the one you saw that are just poorly rebuilt. This thing's looking rough. It's definitely been opened up before. I can just tell by the poor silicone job that they did. This bolt is loose. This bolt is loose. And this is one of those things that, you know, they just drive me nuts. This fill plug was tightened so much that it cracked the case. She's locked. Look at that. Try to show you guys both. That yoke is not spinning. The clue right here, that the problem starts here and then it keeps going into the case. Now this rail has a little tab on it. See that tab that's pointed right on this 1-2 slider? That tab should be facing this way and engaging into the slot on this lever in order for it to select fifth or reverse. So now that I got it in first, the fact that this rail is installed the wrong direction, the 1-2 slider is contacting the tab. That's why it's locked up. And they get charged all this money, or they claim that it was rebuilt, but it has all these problems, and you end up spending your money twice. And you also got to think not only who's rebuilding them, but who is selling the rebuild kits, because some rebuild kits are just bearings and synchros, and they're not actually rebuilding and replacing all worn components in a manual transmission. 9 times out of 10, if you just buy an off-the-shelf bearing and synchro kit, you're still going to have problems with your transmission because you didn't fix the actual cause of the problem. It's important to buy parts from somebody that actually rebuilds transmissions, or somebody that actually rebuilds engines, because they know what parts work and what parts they prefer. I feel like nowadays a lot of people are just selling parts and they don't even work on the transmission or the engine that they're actually rebuilding. The parts that they're actually selling, they have no clue what they are. They're just reselling the parts. So there's a lot of issues with defining a rebuild, what is a rebuild kit, and what you can expect to get in a rebuild. Most kits out there are failing to tell you is the factory flaws with the T5. And now I'm going to show you some of those parts that you may overlook and all the parts that come in my Pro Street T5 versus buying one off the shelf. So if you're building your T5 from the ground up, or you got a busted gear set and you need to replace all your gears, this is the kit I recommend you buy. This is the 295 gear set from AMP Distributing. It's made of an 8620 alloy steel. I've had great success with these gear sets. Don't even waste your time with a aftermarket 335 ratio gear set. They're very, very weak. I'm not sure of the alloy steel they use for that, but they do not hold up at all. So if you're rebuilding your T5 from the ground up, this is the kit you want to buy. So what's included in my Pro Street build? We got that 295 gear set. We got brand new coil bearings for the counter, the input and the main shaft. We got carbon line synchronizers for all of the gears. Sometimes I put in a carbon line fifth. It honestly depends on availability. Sometimes they're not available. And then we got two other components that I don't see in the off-the-shelf T5Z. This billet counter gear retainer plate. This is probably the best thing you can put in your T5 to fix the factory issues with this. This was originally made by someone named Paul Cangialosi, someone I really look up to. I've learned a lot of things from him. But he's originally made this plate, and I think a lot of people started copying him and reproducing these plates. But he discovered through racing that the stock plate would stretch out. This is the stock plate, just some stamped steel, like 14 gauge plate. So when you set up your bearings, I might have already explained this early in the video, you're gonna lose your preload and your setup on your bearings. And it's gonna become a ticking time bomb, because once you set it up, this is gonna stretch from the loads of the transmission, and it's going to be a ticking time bomb. It's really a waste of time. And that T5Z I pulled apart, it had this plate in it. So they're not putting this plate in the T5Z. They're still using that weak, stretched plate. It's kind of redundant if you ask me. You're putting this nice gear set in, but you're putting a weak point in the factory T5. So that's the best thing you can put in. Once you set up that bearing preload, it's not going to change. It's going to stay right where it's at. It's going to keep your counter shaft happy, and the whole transmission is going to be happy. Wow, that's a lot of slop. You guys hear that? That is a lot of slop. That's probably 15, 20 thousandths. That is no good, man. You can almost see it. Zoom you guys in. That's really bad. And you know that they were in here. These are all broken. Guys, I'm telling you, get one of these plates if you're doing your T5. It's the best thing you can do. The next thing is bronze fork pads. The stock pads are plastic and they break all the time. Every other T5 I open up, they're either in the bottom of the case or stuck in a bearing, or they're just completely disintegrated. And that will definitely cause some shifting issues. You're gonna lose a lot of your shift feel. It's gonna be hard getting into gear, and you're gonna have to tear your transmission apart just to replace a little piece of plastic that costs a couple bucks. So I always upgrade to the bronze pads. It makes your shift feel a lot more precise, and they're just a lot stronger. So you're already in there, put these pads in. That's why I include it in my Pro Street kit. And then it's not a full rebuild if you're not replacing all the small parts. We got new O-rings, seals, snap rings, springs, and keys. Those are a big one. Like I said, you just put a bearing and synchro kit in. Your synchros are never going to synchronize or index right without the keys and springs. So if these things are on their last legs, it's only a matter of time before they go kaboom. Oh, I put new bearings and synchros in. I don't know why I'm still having shifting problems. It's because you didn't replace all the wearable components. And that's what this kit includes. It's a one and done deal. You don't got to go searching for other parts. But that being said, you may have to. That's if your transmission is grinding. And I will leave a video below. You guys can go check out what happens when your transmission is grinding and the warrant components associated with it. But I will talk briefly about it. A lot of times you guys have a grind in gears. A lot of people ask me how much to replace a grind. Well, it really depends on how long it's been grinding. But what you want to look for is damage on the engagement teeth, not the gear teeth, the engagement teeth on the gear. And then the slider gear that engages that gear, because the synchro is going to be sandwiched between these two. Now in my kit, I always include a 1-2 slider, because I'm sure your T5's got hundreds of thousands of miles on it. I mean, that's why it's being rebuilt, and especially if you have a grind. This slider engages, one side would be first gear, the other side would be second gear. So if one side is grinding, it's gonna beat up these teeth, flatten out these teeth. And again, just because you're putting synchros in it, doesn't mean you're fixing your transmission or you're fixing your grinding problem. There are other components associated with a grind, with a rebuild. And once those gear teeth are beat up, see how these teeth are just flattened out? It's gonna be really hard to get into gear. And in extreme cases, it's gonna pop out of gear. So it's important that you always look at your sliders as well if you have a grind. Because a lot of you that are doing this the first time, you don't know where to look, and that's okay. Hopefully you watch my videos, you learn a little bit more, but I got your back on this one. That's why it's in the kit. But the main point I'm trying to make here is you need to check your 3/4 slider and your 5th reverse slider. Depending on the wear of your T5, those may need to be replaced as well. But the 1-2 is the most common. Again, check the description. I'll leave a few videos down there about diagnosing your parts when you got your transmission apart. You know, when I was first starting out and rebuilding transmissions, I would always get confused because I would only see bearings and synchros and maybe like some pads or a couple seals, but I would end up having to go and search around for other parts because that's what I needed in my rebuild. Now, all transmissions are gonna vary in what they need, but I kind of narrowed it down with the T5 at least, with the most worn components, the factory flaws, all in one kit. Now, what I didn't include, and I forgot to tell you guys about, was the bearing retainer. I upgrade these to an all steel. It's a cast all steel bearing retainer. Now, some of the early retainers, it would be a all aluminum or half aluminum, half steel. And what'll happen is you got a steel throwout bearing. Every time you push the clutch, it rides on this shaft. And that steel is gonna eat into that aluminum. And I've seen these retainers have this huge gouge in them, and you're gonna have some clutch release issues with that gouge. So I always upgrade them to a 1-piece cast steel unit. Now, the 2-piece retainers, they're good as well. I believe the Ford Performance has them. They're like this. They're fine. You can see right here, that's the wear points I was telling you about, but there's nothing wrong with this retainer. This is all still smooth. But what can happen with these 2-piece retainers is they'll break right there. So this can happen. For the SN95s, I believe they only make a 2-piece, the 94 95s, because the input shaft's a little bit longer. So you have to settle with that. But like I said, they're fine until they're not. If you guys learned anything in this video, you know, take your advice from somebody that's actually in the shop working with these transmissions, engines, cars, whatever they are. They understand the parts, they know how things go together, and they're not just a salesman trying to sell you something that you don't need. So there you go. I hope that answers the question on what's the difference between a T5z spec off-the-shelf tremec versus my Pro Street upgrade kit. You're getting more bang for your buck. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, that's exactly what I need, but I can't see myself rebuilding my T5. So if you want to order my Pro Street T5 with all those upgrades I just showed you, I'll leave a link below to my website where you can get yours. Now, if you're looking to convert your world-class T5, whether it's out of a 4-cylinder or a V8, as long as it's a world-class and you want to upgrade it to my Pro Street kit that I just showed you, I'm going to show you the parts that you need other than the kit to convert it. You need your tail housing, you need your top cover with your forks and your shift rail, you need your case, and you need a good main shaft. So I got 3 main shafts on the table here, all world-class Mustang T5s, and I want to show you the wear points and what to look for in your main shaft to see if it can be reused, cleaned up, or not. Now, the 2 main failure points on these main shafts are the splines where the 1-2 sliders sit and the front tip where the input shaft spins on. Now, whenever you have a failure in your T5 or things are starting to break apart in there, you're gonna get a lot of metal shavings, and it's just basically a meat grinder inside, and it's going to grind them shavings down if it doesn't continue breaking other parts at the same time to very fine material. And during that process, that material is going to get in between the splines on your main shaft and the splines on your slider, and that's going to score and dent and just cause a lot of damage on those splines. Unfortunately, I don't have a good example of that, but I do have a little bit on this one. You can kind of see it right here. A little bit of an indentation and some scoring marks there. But that's somewhere you want to look. There are some times where there will be some discoloration. You can kind of see it in the bottom there. So you want to make sure, I always like to test fit my 1-2 slider because there's 3 ways you can set it up. And just make sure it rolls smooth. There's not a lot of backlash between the splines. And you kind of got to blueprint it and play it by ear there. But for the most part, they're normally in good condition. But every now and then I get a bad one. And you can't really see that until you have the entire transmission apart. The 1-2 slider is the last thing that you take off the transmission. But what you can tell from the start, all you have to do is pull out your input shaft, your bearing retainer comes off, your input shaft comes out, and you can get a good look at this surface here. Now this surface is very nice. There's no delaminating or pitting or anything like that going on. So this thing can be reused. That's what you want to look for right here. Now if we move on to this one, you can see there's a little spot forming and it's starting to break apart. That's whether debris got in there, because you got about 15, 16 loose needle roller bearings on here. And yeah, it's starting to come apart there. So at that point I would replace it. And then lastly, when you run it low on oil, that's what happens. This thing's completely destroyed, overheated, and heavily pitted and scored. So that's no good. I'm glad I saved these. I'm at least going to try to fix this one day when I get a lathe. I'm going to weld this up and then turn it down, and hopefully I can reuse this one. I'm not sure about that one, but there you go, guys. That's what you want to look for with your main shafts. And if all that's looking good, all you need to do is purchase my Pro Street Upgrade Kit, and you'll be able to put together a solid transmission. If you guys are looking to rebuild your T5, a couple how-to videos, like I said, check the description. I'll leave some videos down there. I got a bunch of information on my channel about T5s, tremecs, T56s. Thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, drop a comment. See you on the next one.